Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about something really important. So I am preparing to travel to Cameroon, and that is in Africa. So in this video I literally want to tell you about how you prepare on such a journey if you have got sickle cell disease. Bear in mind, if you've got a chronic illness and you have to travel, it's a whole different ball game. There's so many things that you have to consider, that you have to put in place. So watch this video if you are someone with a chronic illness who is planning to travel, or you've got sickle cell and you're planning to travel. So like I said, I am going to Cameroon in Africa. So my first advice will be to do your research. Make sure you understand really well where you are going. So is it too hot? Is it too cold? What kind of clothing do you have to take? So I'm going to Africa and it's very hot, so I need to take a lot of light clothing. I have a fan which I'm charging here. Make sure that you have proper sun protection. I have got some, I've already packed them. I've got some really good sunscreen spray that I bought from Superdrug. Those are chemical free. I use them all the time. So make sure you understand pretty well where you're going. And I've written a few things down just so I don't forget, because there's quite a bit I want to talk about, and it's really important that we are fully prepared before we travel. Plan your itinerary carefully. Consider factors like climate, altitude, and potential triggers for sickle cell crisis. Make sure your activities are suitable for your health condition. Do not overindulge. I know we're on holiday. It can get pretty exciting, and you might meet friends or family and you want to do, quite a few activities, but make sure you understand your body. Only do what you can. If it's too hot, you make sure you have light clothing on. If it's too cold, make sure you have proper clothing on as well. So I'm going to a country that is malaria infested, so I have my malaria spray, which I have packed. I should be showing this. I have packed, I bought that from Holland and Barrett, and it's chemical free as well, and it's suitable for children as well. So I think I'll do a separate video of all these things that I have just mentioned. So make sure you are fully prepared. Don't forget. Next thing is medical preparation. So I have written down, visit your doctor well in advance of your trip. Discuss your travel plans and ensure that your health is stable for the journey. So what I tend to do is I make sure I see the doctor at least 2 weeks before I travel. I start packing at least 2 weeks before I travel, so that I know what I already have in terms of clothing, in terms of medication, and then I book an appointment to see the doctor. So stock up on your medications. Make sure you have ample supply to the last duration of your trip, plus some extras just in case you have some delays and you have to stay a bit longer than you planned. Carry a medical kit with the essentials like painkillers, hydration solutions. I have all that, and any specific medications your doctor recommend for managing sickle cell complications. So I have got all the things that I normally take and some extra. So I am going to a place that I do not have my sickle cell consultant. And for those in the UK, we've got these cards that have this nice guidance. I know it's mostly for the UK, but it has information that is applicable everywhere really. It just says patients with sickle presenting to hospital with an acute painful sickle cell episode should have a pain assessment, a clinical assessment, and an appropriate analgesia within 30 minutes of presentation. So if you go somewhere and they don't know anything about sickle cell, this will at least give them a clue of what needs to be done. And it's got my details there, and this is from my local hospital. It just tells you that it's a medical alert card. Just tells you that medical alert card, potential life-threatening illness, sickle cell disease. I need pain relief within 30 minutes of attendance. I need urgent clinical assessment. So this will be with me all the time in case I fall sick. and I just have this, I can present this to them and tell them what needs to be done. So do remember that if you have one of these medical cards, please do not forget to hold them with you when you're going abroad. Also, consult with your healthcare provider about necessary vaccinations for travel to Cameroon. Common vaccinations for Cameroon are yellow fever, typhoid, hepatitis A and B, and tetanus. These vaccinations can help protect you from preventable illnesses during your trip. So on a few days ago, last week actually, I had my vaccine. So for those with sickle cell, when you go to have your yellow fever vaccine, you might have to answer a bit more questions because it is a live vaccine, and they're quite concerned about sickle cell disease. But after going through all the checks and everything, it should be fine. It's just precautions. So make sure you get your vaccine. I also got my malaria tablets. These, you can't get them from the GP. So you might have to go to a travel clinic to get malaria tablets. And you need to start taking them at least 2 weeks before you travel. So I'm going to Cameroon. There is malaria in Cameroon. So it's important that I start taking my malaria tablets. That I cannot forget. I've got all my vaccines. So I've also got my should be out. Actually, should have taken this out. I've also got my yellow fever card. So you need a certificate. Yellow fever certificate is an essential. As a matter of fact, before you get your visa, it's essential. And speaking of visa, if you're going to Cameroon and you hold a British passport, you will need to apply for a visa. And yellow fever vaccination is one of the requirements for you to get a visa. So it's very straightforward. You go onto the website, just click apply. I will put the link below. If anyone is planning a trip to Cameroon, just fill it out and put attach all the documents that you've got that they're requesting. So I hope that's helpful. So next thing is hydration. I cannot overemphasize on this. It is very important that living with sickle cell disease, you keep hydration at the maximum. I'm going to a country that is very hot. At the moment, it's about 30 degrees Celsius. So that is very hot. And, heat can trigger a sickle cell crisis. So I have to make sure that I am drinking. I've got my water bottle there that can keep cool for at least 24 hours. So that is very important. So I have written, hydration is key. Traveling, especially to warmer climates, can increase the risk of dehydration, which can trigger a sickle cell crisis. We all know that. And pay attention to your diet. Pack nutritious snacks. I am so keen on my snack. Obviously, I'm going abroad. The food might not be something that I am used to, so I have to be very, very careful. And avoid alcohol and caffeine, as they can contribute to dehydration. So that I cannot overemphasize. Be very mindful if you have to drink alcohol, because that can cause you to dehydrate and can lead to a sickle cell crisis. So be prepared. So my next advice is to relax and rest. It's very important, especially if you've got a chronic illness. Traveling can take so much out of you, and it can be very exhausting, traveling to wherever. So if you've got a sickle cell, it's quite essential that when you are abroad, you make sure that you find time for yourself. I know it might be very exciting when you meet family or friends, or you go to a new place and you just want to indulge, but you have to remember that it's important for you to rest your body, because the slightest overexertion can lead to a sickle cell crisis, and that you don't want, because you want to make sure you have the most time while you are on holiday. You want to enjoy your holiday as much as possible. So take it easy. Listen to your body. We all know when we feel that something that isn't right, that we need to take a step back. So do remember that. Do remember that as much as exciting as it can be, going away or on holidays, you need to relax and find time for yourself. So the next bit I want to talk about is communication and support. Let your travel companions know about your condition and how they can support you if needed. So I am traveling alone, but I have everything in my bag. So one of the things that I always do is I tell the airline that I've got sickle cell just in case I have a crisis while I'm on the plane. And it is very essential because sometimes high altitude can lead to a sickle cell crisis because oxygen level it's quite low when we're flying at high altitude, so you might need some oxygen. So it's essential. If you happen to be traveling with people, let them know that you've got sickle cell, so in case, and tell them where your medication is. If you've got a card, let them know where you put your card. So that's very important. Keep important medical information easily accessible. Consider wearing a medical ID bracelet or card like I just showed, with details about your illness and emergency contact. So I have all those written on the card. And also, if you're getting on the plane like I am, make sure you walk around, because sitting for too long sometimes can cause you to have blood clots, which you don't want. If you have compression socks, I will highly recommend you get those. And also my advice is to sit on an aisle seat, because you might be drinking quite a lot of water to keep you hydrated, and as a result of that you might want to be going to the loo quite often, and the last thing you want is to, you know, be excusing yourself to be going up and down. So if you're sitting on the aisle seat, you can just easily just walk and go to the toilet. And bear in mind, planes can get really cold, so dress appropriately for your journey. Also, most airlines do provide blankets, so I always ask for a blanket. And what was the other advice? I can't think. So yeah, just enjoy and relax. Oh, don't forget to have some medications in your bag. So I always have those, because you don't want to put everything and check it into the plane, and then, you know, halfway through your journey you feel ill and you don't know where to get medication. So I always make sure that I have some medication in my bag. And just enjoy your trip and relax, and hope you get to your destination safely, because if you prepare well in advance, you will be less stressful. Do not forget to have a good rest the night before you are traveling. My flight is at 10 o'clock in the morning, so it's important that I go to bed early. I have packed everything. Everything has been packed except for my hat, which I'm just going to put them in my hand luggage. So make sure you're well relaxed, you know, go to bed early, get up, have a bath, have a wash, and just get yourself to the airport, because the more you're prepared, the less stressful you will be. So enjoy your trip.